Hey again, everyone. Welcome to the Wildcats Media Sports Podcast. I'm Al Quartermont, the professor of our broadcasting class, and glad that you could be with us today. It'll be an audio version only as we continue to address some issues, but we're good with that. I'm glad you could be with us. Once again, joined by my students in the studio, starting with D-Ray, Danny Cobb.
What's up, everybody?
Seth, freaking Bynog.
I've even got the shirt on, but y'all can't see it, but what's up?
And Adon Wright.
What's up, everybody? I just want to point out, Danny is like very cleanly shaven today.
He is.
It's a very nice shave. It's
Fresh look.
Looking fresh.
got the mustache only this time.
Yeah,
Look, sometimes you gotta change things up.
yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
That's right.
So we didn't have a show last week. We were actually all in Nashville at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention. Had a great time there, a chance to compete with the students, chance to learn a lot, going to different educational sessions, chance to get inspired a little bit by hearing some really good speakers and some music as well. So let's start there. What was your biggest takeaway from NRB, Danny?
Biggest takeaway? I know the thing that I heard the most, especially for at least our generation, is they said to read a lot, especially dead authors. And I think that's something that I've been wanting to do for sure, is read a lot more. So you know, I need to educate myself more, and I think that's one thing that I'm gonna start doing for sure.
I've seen that a lot among kind of younger conservative men, is that there's a push to try to get young men kind of re-educated on the classics and sort of that traditional thought, I guess, if you would, like, you know, to make us maybe more understanding or aware of what our history is and why it is.
I think the most important thing is, like, you know, learning who the smart people were.
Yeah.
The smart people were and what the smart people said.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I took a class last year called Christian Thought, and we spent that entire class reading dead authors. And what you find is that, like, nothing is new.
Mm-hmm.
Every thought that's ever been had has been thought already about, you know, the important things. So when you read dead authors, you really figure out the bare bone, not even just the bare bones, but like the right way to deal with those things.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think reading dead authors is like so important to just building yourself up mentally.
I think it's great, and I'm excited to see, you know, what kind of impact that'll have on your generation. It's pretty cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah. What was your big takeaway? Seth?
One big takeaway I had was when we were doing the challenges, I felt to feel what it's like to go up against other schools and taking what we learned throughout here in LC and applying it on our own.
Okay.
When it comes to like our news challenges, audio, social media.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel like you got to do that?
I got to feel like an experience of what it's like working like in the big leagues, like KLB, like filming B-roll and interviewing people, watching or holding a camera to interview people.
Have a little more pressure on you too.
Yeah, a little.
Sure.
Yeah.
Gotta get it done. Gotta beat the deadline.
What was your big takeaway, Don?
I think the connections for me was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like meeting people who are in the convergence media scene and the field, and like connecting with them, and just, you know, being able to see what the actual professionals are doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And also you getting having people watch your project and telling you what they liked and what can be improved. That was also a really big takeaway for me, because I got to hear a professional opinion.
Yeah, for our news challenge, we didn't really have anyone to compete against, so we just had to we got judged like live, and they had the judges, you know, come and sit there and watch our video and then tell us exactly how we sucked. And that was particularly helpful, I think, because, you know, you get to see, like, well, they'll look you in the eye and ask you why you made that decision, and you gotta like tell them why you thought that B-roll was a good idea, why you wrote it that way, you know, stuff like that. Why'd you interview this person? I thought it was really, really interesting, really helpful.
Well, yeah, that's something that we kind of had to pivot toward, because we didn't have maybe that other couple of teams to compete against. But I think it actually worked out maybe for the better at the end of the day. So was there any one person y'all met during the week that made an impact on you? Danny's got a smile on his face.
I mean,
He's gonna say
I
me.
I wanted to say Seth Gruber, but I think
Thank you.
I think me talking to
Not you, Seth.
I know.
I think me talking to Elijah Lamb was a lot more valuable to me, just because again he's 23, so he's closer to our age, and him being that educated on not only, of course, like biblical things, but also just life in general. And he told me that, because I interviewed him also at some point, and he told me that it's so important for people our age to try to push to be smarter and also learn the Bible when they can. So I don't know. It was just really.
And he's an Instagram influencer?
Instagram and TikTok and YouTube.
Cool. And what's his handle? Or
Elijah Lamb.
Just that?
Yeah.
That's his name. I'd have to agree with that too. I was like my most influential person, because like I immediately got back and just wanted to start fasting and doing, because like I had that, like, I had a conversation with him about it, and it's like, it's like he's talking about Lent because he's Protestant, but he got the ashes for Lent because he was like, I really appreciate this aspect of our religion, and I think Jesus talks about when you fast, do this, and so it's an expectation, one that I have not been as locked in on. So he's very inspirational.
Maybe now.
For me, it was either the Seth Gruber guy or that lady who was speaking at the gala.
Nancy Wogemuth?
Yeah.
The one that had lost her husband?
That one.
That was pretty powerful.
It was.
It was quite powerful.
Yeah.
Like the very beginning, I wanted to cry when she was talking about it.
Yeah. And there were some good musicians that were there. Maybe not your age group. If we say Matthew West or Michael W. Smith.
I like those guys. I like Michael W.
good.
Smith.
It was good.
But no, that guy who was playing the piano at the gala. Did you like him?
Yeah.
Younger guy?
The younger guy.
Yeah.
I did. I liked him as well.
He was all right.
We got a tough critic here. Uh-oh.
Or was it was it not the convention? What was it? The one where the Secretary of War,
Pete
was there.
Hegseth.
Yeah.
That was at the 250th.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
250th anniversary party.
Yeah, the guy who was there, I think that was the guy who I'm thinking of, who had like the saxophone with him and the cello. Like I thought that was like that was phenomenal.
That was the gala.
That
Was
was
that
the
the-
ga-
that was the
that
gala?
gala.
Matthew West was at the.
Yeah, that was Matthew
Yeah.
West.
Oh,
Matthew
okay.
West was that Thursday night.
Mhm.
I see.
Because he kind of came on.
Oh, he had
after
the
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Where
Right.
I think a lot of people had left by then because NRB draws, I would say, a little bit older crowd.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that you got to connect with some of those younger Christian influencer types because there really weren't a lot of people their age who were at that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that gave you all a chance to meet some of them personally, and Danny got more of a lecture on testicular fortitude than you probably ever thought he would get.
True.
Shout out Seth Gruber.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be friends with feminists. Shouldn't date a feminist. Shouldn't marry a feminist.
No.
Feminist men is the
I think both,
Yeah.
to be honest. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
toxic.
Yeah. And then some of you guys were hanging out with me when Pat Boone was there.
Oh, yeah.
So now you know a little bit more about who Pat Boone is.
My grandfather was particularly excited about that.
Was he?
I sent him the photo that we got with him.
But one thing that I was kind of disappointed was when we were at the gala and they were presented that award to Sadie Robertson Huff.
Mm-hmm.
When they said her name, my head like shut up. I was like,
He's a big fan, I guess.
well, she's a person I've been wanting to meet since I was like 8
Why is that?
Wow.
because I've been watching her on Duck Dynasty, Dancing with the Stars.
Mm-hmm. But she wasn't there.
But she was there. She wasn't there, but
She was honored.
Honored.
But she did a video thank you,
Yeah.
basically. So, yeah, it's too bad that she wasn't there. I think she has been there in the past, though.
So is Trump.
So you just missed your window.
yeah,
Trump
Maybe
sent it-
next year.
maybe she'll be there
Next year it'll be in Washington, D.C. And
That'll
and
be
that,
interesting.
and that trip is currently in. We're talking about it.
yeah. So if anybody would like to donate to our Conversions Media program
Mm-hmm.
to help send students to Washington, D.C. next March or next February for the NRB,
Donate to our Patreon at Wildcats Convergence Media. I'm just kidding. Don't do
We don't
that.
have a
We don't have a Patreon.
Just you can reach out to me. I'll make sure it goes in the right place. But yeah, that would be. We're already excited about what next year could bring, and this is all part of what they call the INRB, which is the intercollegiate division or the college division of NRB, of which I will be the chair for the next year. So
That's exciting.
That's
Congrats,
really cool.
man.
we'll see if we can put some new wrinkles in.
But that hotel was beautiful.
It was a great
the
hotel. It was
Gaylord
the Gaylord.
Hotel.
It was
Wait, Danny,
huge.
you competed at NRB. How'd that go?
They were in the audio challenge.
Yeah. I mean,
You were down on yourself because you didn't get first, but
I
I thought
mean,
you guys did a really good job.
you gotta think. I don't know. I'm always hard on myself, so you gotta think about it when there's only 2 teams competing and you get second. It's kind of like you lost. It's kind of like a punch in the face. Obviously, if there's 5 different schools and you get second, it's gonna feel a lot better than you just basically losing.
Yeah.
But
But I do know that the judges had a hard time determining the
Yeah.
winner because really the 2 pieces were kind of different.
They're very different.
They were very
She-
different.
Like the was it Liberty? They basically told like a commercial.
mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's their background is like commercial media and like stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah,
Well,
So-
we told like a
the story.
It was
story
yeah.
like you'd see on the
Little
History
narrative.
Channel.
Yeah, it was good. I thought you guys did good.
Yeah.
So,
I like how it turned out.
at the end of the day, it's
It
It's
is
about
what it
competing.
is.
Yeah.
growing,
And I mean,
growing and getting better.
I mean, obviously, I was there for the challenge, but I think I was there. I wanted to learn more about. Obviously, like I got to talk to people and learn to read more. I just wanted to
Mhm.
educate myself more. I think
Yeah.
this year than actually compete. So I think that was a big thing for me. I got to take a bunch of notes and
Yeah.
stuff. So.
No, I'm glad that you guys take advantage of that because you're getting a chance to hear just nationally renowned speakers
Right,
and
yeah.
people that are experts in their field that you can really grow and learn in a week's time like that.
Mhm.
But going to that church was really
Oh yeah,
amazing.
Bellevue.
We did
We
get to
stopped
go to
at-
Bellevue.
yeah. We stopped at Bellevue Baptist in Memphis, which is the church that Adrian Rogers was at for many years. So a lot of people know about him through the radio and TV ministry that he had, and Mr. Jeff, my colleague and their professor, Jeff Young, he knows a couple of the folks that work there, one of whom used to be here in Pineville. And then,
Their production manager. I believe.
yeah, and
That is definitely a church I would love to work at.
it's amazing.
It
It is
It's-
the biggest church I've ever been
It's
to.
way more impressive than like a TV station.
Right.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
You got-
Their
you-
TV
you
station
got
is bigger than our
sound-
TV station.
A recording studio,
Yeah.
a photo shooting room. Those 2 rooms I really liked. But seeing their control room where they run the cameras, they make the control room that I work in at my church look like a broom closet.
It's actually true.
Yeah, they have to have millions of dollars in production
Yeah.
equipment, which he was talking about how a lot of it was aging out and they had to look to replace it soon. I'm thinking, well, you can donate it to us.
Yeah,
We'll take it.
I
we'll
accept.
take it.
I accept immediately.
Yeah. But no, it was great experience. And then you even got to stop at Buc-ee's on the way home.
We
That
did.
was a necessary trip for me.
Was it
Twas.
unnecessary?
It was a necessary
Oh,
trip.
a necessary,
It was
yes.
a necessary.
Absolutely.
Still have a few snacks left over.
I
Do you
don't.
actually? I have some beef jerky left over.
I still got some from candy from the trip.
Yeah. Now, while we were there, the Olympics were going on, the Winter Olympics, and kind of the best part of it with some of your final events with speed skating. U.S. got a gold medal
Shut up.
from, what's her name?
That was
That was figure
Figure skating.
skating.
Figure skating.
that
Figure
was
skating.
Alyssa Liu.
Alyssa Liu. Figure skating. Speed skating, Jordan Stoltz from Wisconsin got a couple of gold medals.
Love to see it.
And then in hockey skating.
Hockey.
Hockey
I've
skating.
never. I don't think I've ever been more proud to be American
U.S. taking the gold.
than this past week because it was great. It was great beating Canada. The women beating Canada. That was like that was just like a great moment. But Mr. Al, we were texting. It
Yeah.
was Sunday when that game was going
Yeah.
on. Me and Mr. Al were texting the whole time because I was watching the game. USA beating Canada.
It's amazing that game Saturday morning ended up drawing, what did they say, like 26 million viewers, which,
Wow.
I mean, in the South here, I think a lot of people weren't really aware of it because people in the South just aren't as into the Winter Olympics.
Well, because we don't ever get
we don't
winter.
ever have winter here.
True. But that hockey game Sunday morning, and the reason it was Sunday morning so early is because they were playing in Milan, and that effectively was an afternoon game there because they had the closing ceremonies coming up a few hours later, so they had to play it at that time.
Right.
But it still drew a huge audience in the United States to see the U.S. beat Canada in overtime.
In the gold medal match.
Yeah.
Jack Hughes.
I've only ever been to one hockey game in my life.
Really?
Yes, sir. It was the Mudbugs game.
Up in Shreveport?
Yes, sir.
I've never watched a hockey game before, so that was my
Really?
first ever like.
Ah.
If you do, bring
Ho-
a jacket.
Hockey's kind of like soccer on skates.
Yeah.
That's like it's a combination of like soccer, football, and basketball to me.
Yeah,
which are like my three
you
favorite
allow-
sports.
Because
Yeah.
they
So-
allow fighting.
Well,
They
I mean,
do.
it's very physical like football, but it's
Yeah.
also like
Yeah.
very tactical like basketball. And then obviously putting something in the back of a net is like soccer. So,
Putting the biscuit in the basket, as they say.
oh, is that really what they say?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. But like that was the most like electric game I've ever seen, and like
Yes.
Hellebuck getting the what's it called, the Medal of Honor
Mm-hmm.
from the president.
Yeah.
Yesterday was it yesterday or the day before?
He announced it at the State of the Union address.
Yeah, like that
Gosh.
was like he deserved it. Like
Yeah.
he like, that's like Purple Heart worthy.
Yeah. I mean, his performance was fantastic. And he has such a great backstory because coming out of high school, nobody really knew about him or wanted him. He ended up going to Odessa, Texas, playing like in a junior league where he kind of got discovered at that point and then was on his way. But it just not really the guy that you would have expected to be in that scenario, but he was. And, man, the way that the game ended in overtime was amazing.
He faced 42 shots
Yeah.
on goal
Yeah.
and got 41 saves.
Yeah.
Like that's just so insane. And then the one that he cleared off the line.
Yes.
I mean, no other player in the world's doing that. Like I heard Canadians like complaining. It's like we were the better team. We were the better team.
Like, how do they beat us at our own sport?
They're like because they had they did outshoot us like 24-42,
Mhm.
and it's like, well, you didn't have the better player because the best player on the ice was in the goal for the USA.
True.
So it's like
That's the point. Yeah, absolutely. So it was fun.
it was a great game.
And the women's team, they were fantastic. You know, one thing I kind of hate since it all happened is the media, the national media, has been trying to make it, President Trump slighted the women's team because he was on the phone after the game with the men, and he's like, I'm going to have to invite the women too. And the way he was saying it was kind of like a dad joke tone, and they're presenting it to the women's team like, oh, what do you think of the president saying that he had to invite you?
That's but like, yeah, they could have made the same joke to the women. And
Yes.
it would have been
Yeah.
the same reaction. And I
Yeah.
like the funny part for me is that wasn't to me, I don't even think they were laughing about the women like being like women and winning. It was that like if you heard in the background, you heard someone shouting out like 2 for 2, 2
Yeah,
for 2.
yeah.
Why? Because they won two goals against Canada.
Absolutely.
And I mean the women are going to be at the White House soon anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I hope they will. I hope they go.
that's what I heard is that
Yeah.
well, that's what Trump said, that they were
Mhm.
going to be there. They just couldn't go to the State of the Union because of
Scheduling conflict.
scheduling conflict.
Yeah. A lot of them are still college players and they have tournaments coming up and those sorts of things. But it was it was a very patriotic moment for the country. And overall our Olympic team did really well.
I think they just-
record number of
yeah.
gold medals.
Yeah, and we only lose to what, Norway?
Yeah.
We were second
Yeah.
to Norway, which
Yeah.
is literally just a snow. I'm
Yeah.
like it's just one slope. That's their whole. The whole country is just snow.
It's just snow and ice.
And Alyssa Liu is a figure skater.
Yeah.
Well, I used to watch figure skating with my mom when the Winter Olympics came around, and the only two skaters I know are Tara Lipinski and
wow.
Johnny Weir.
Okay.
Bag pulls.
What's that?
So that's a bag pull right there.
Bag pull, yeah.
Hmm.
Tara she was in the Olympics when my little daughters was born. I remember my daughter got sick and I bought her a Tara Lipinski Barbie. So that would have been around 96 probably, I'm thinking. Yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Mm.
But talking about Jack Hughes and him scoring the winning goal. The name of the last player cut in 1980 from that team was Jack Hughes as well.
Really?
Isn't that wild?
That
Yeah,
is
That is
wild.
so
yeah, there was a
wild.
player named Jack Hughes back then.
And didn't they show that in the movie Miracle?
They did, yeah.
What's crazy is that like he broke his face, like his
Yeah.
teeth fell out, like he
Yeah.
got smacked in the mouth, and his teeth like broke, and he just hopped out.
Yeah.
I drunk some water and got back on,
Oh yeah.
and
Hockey players are a different breed, man.
they are a
Yeah.
different breed.
Yeah.
But the picture with him biting the gold medal and you can see his
Mm.
cracked teeth, iconic.
That is iconic.
Yeah, that's going in.
And I mean, there was an interview I
Sports
saw with like
almanacs.
was it 2022 Olympics,
Mhm.
and where they lost,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about like the feeling. It's like you don't learn anything from this. You just
Yeah.
it just hurts.
Yeah.
And so it's like I'll come back. It's just like painful, and then to come back and then win it with your brother being
Mhm.
one of the best players of the tournament, getting that the goal in the match before, another match before, but the match before that one against Sweden,
Yeah.
that the game winner, and it's just such an like awesome moment.
Yeah, it was cool. So fun stuff. All right, let's bring it back home a little bit and talk about LCU. What's going on with them? The Wildcat baseball team just continues to roll, guys. They're now 18-2 after a massive sweep this last weekend in their season opener for the Red River Athletic Conference. Trying to keep up the scores. Jarvis Christian. Scores were 19-1, 9-0, and 14-4.
Good Lord.
Good.
They're actually
Nelly.
just the best team. Like you look at the standings, the RAC standings.
Yeah.
They are the number one team in the Red River Athletic Conference above Shreveport because they beat the team that beat Shreveport.
Long way to go, obviously, and it'll
Yep.
be fun when they face Shreveport later this
Mhm.
year. LSUA will also be a really key matchup for them. So they are on the road this weekend, actually taking on the team that's ranked number 20 in NAIA. We're not ranked right now,
But we're projected top 10.
projected to move into it
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
the next time it comes out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So Victoria, Texas A&M Victoria, ranked number 20. So this will be a good test this weekend to see how it goes for the Wildcats. But so far, the way this team is playing, I mean, it just seems like they've got a lot of depth, a lot of different people that are stepping up, and they've got a few home run hitters that have been taking the ball deep. Braden McClin being one of them. He's got 5 on the year. Chris Kelly's got 4. Braden Trull has 3. Pitching wise, they have a pretty deep pitching staff so far this year. Brandon Carter is 4-0 to start the year. Cade Lynn, who was kind of their closer last year, has moved into more of a starter role this year, is 3-0 so far.
Wow.
So they just are getting it done. I don't know how else to say it.
Danny, you were looking at stats yesterday. We were talking about it. What did you?
That was Nate. But
Nate was looking at stats.
Nate was saying that we were top 10 in almost everything. So that
Yeah.
includes pitching, hitting, all that stuff. We were either 7th or 8th ranked
Wow.
for everything. So
in
Wow.
NAI.
yeah.
Love it. Yep. Doing well. So softball, I know that their team is on the road this weekend. They are 6-6 so far on the year. Last week they had a pretty tough opening conference matchup. They got swept against Texas A&M Texarkana, which is the number 22 team in the country. 12-0, 6-0, and 5-1.
Rough start.
Yeah, but they are on the road. They're actually in Columbus, Georgia this weekend for what's called the NFCA Leadoff Classic. And tomorrow they'll start it up, taking on the College of Coastal Georgia at 10 in the morning. Then they face Freed Hardeman at noon. Then on Saturday, the United States Sports University, followed by the University of Rio Grande, which is out of Ohio. That's interesting.
Is the Rio Grande not in?
I thought it was in Texas, but it says University of Rio Grande, Ohio.
Word.
And Reinhardt University on Sunday. So
There's such
they'll-
so many games in such a short period of time.
5 games in 3 days, Friday through Sunday. And then they'll be back home next weekend to host Xavier in their conference home opener.
Wow. I mean, these are the games that'll get you right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sounds like pitching is still kind of the aspect of the game that they're working to develop.
Yeah.
Which is such a key in softball, just
Right.
like it is in baseball. But basketball, our seasons are over. Both the guys and the gals last week finished it up with road trip games. They both had road trip wins against the University of the Southwest before both losing to North Texas Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
UNTD.
So the guys finished 7-21 on the season, 5-17 in conference play. By the way, the conference tournament, the Red River Athletic Conference tournament, will be happening this weekend over at the at the Laborde Earls Coliseum in Alexandria. So they have the semifinal games Saturday and then the championship games on Sunday.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be covering any of those?
I will be.
Okay.
Saturdays for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But what's kind of nice actually is that I only have to cover LSUA because or the men's team because the girls team is already out. So
Yeah, the women's team lost last night.
last night.
The guys' team beat Jarvis Christian, talking about LSUA.
Mhm.
So they now face, is it Xavier?
Oh, Xavier.
Face in
Yes.
round 2.
I believe it's Xavier.
But it's kind of a shame that we're not there.
Yeah.
They did change the format of the conference tournament this year where you had the quarterfinal round played at host sites. Like last night, it was at LSUA. Jarvis Christian had to travel there.
Mhm.
Versus what they've done the last, I'm trying to remember how many years they've had it at the Coliseum, but usually you have 8 games on that first day, Thursday. 8.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'll be honest. I'm not upset about it.
Yeah. So it made it a really long day for everybody. I mean, that would have been on Friday, actually. And there was always like, well, do you play the men first in the day or the women? And then they started to reverse it. But, I mean, you space 2 hours in between games. And
Mm-hmm.
there were a couple of years where, like, that last Thursday night game wasn't starting till, like, almost 11 at night.
Yeah.
That happened last year.
Yeah, they probably what they also could have done would have been to have 2 of the quarterfinal games two of the quarterfinal matchups on Thursday and 2 on Friday for each men and women. But then you get into the, teams get an extra day of rest.
Mhm.
So is that fair? That kind of thing. I don't know. And then you're having to rent the Coliseum for 2 more days too.
Right. Which is always.
Yep.
I think this system is probably just better.
Probably.
Just because
Yeah.
what people care about are semifinals and finals anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, doing semifinals on one day and then finals on the other.
The tough thing would be is if, let's say, one of the Louisiana teams had to have an opening quarterfinal round match at Southwest,
Yeah.
and then you got to travel
Back home.
Yeah, but
I mean, they got to travel as well. Other
Yeah,
people got to travel.
that's
So
true.
if Southwest, has a game away at Xavier, then they have to
Mhm.
stay and then go back to the Coliseum for the weekend.
mm-hmm.
So it's tough for everybody involved.
But are we rooting for LSUA's men's team to win it all?
Is LSUS playing?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no.
You like LSUS?
Yeah. I have a buddy from high school who does their commentating.
Oh,
That's
really?
cool.
He's like really good at it. He graduated, I want to say 2 years
Okay.
before I did.
Wow.
But he's really good at it, and I think he's definitely going to go somewhere. So
Okay.
Very
we're
cool.
root for LSUS.
Yeah, our women's team ended up finishing the year 5-23 overall, 4-18 in conference play. So let me ask you all this: where do you see things heading for our respective basketball programs? Let's start with the guys first. Where do you see things heading for next year?
Well, we know well, not for sure. Most of the players has said that Coach Zach is going to stay as coach. So we'll see. They said they like Coach Zach as someone outside of basketball. He's a good leader. So they're excited to play under him again. I have heard that there's also at least 3 more recruits coming in next year.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be exciting. I don't know if we're getting any bigs
Yeah.
or who they are, but yeah, this year was definitely a rebuild year for the
Yeah,
program.
true.
I think.
I feel like they could do rebuild some more and become better next year.
They're gonna need to rebuild for sure. I think when you lose players like Bryce and then Drew and then
Yeah.
all these other players, you're gonna need a lot of fresh talent. And I think you have players coming up. Obviously, you have Aaron Garcia and Nathaniel LaFleur. You even have others like who are staying as well. But you have a lot of seniors who are leaving, and I think you need to replace someone like Justice Kelly, like 100%.
Yeah, because they don't have a lot of size. Although they will get Larry Lee back, hopefully. I know Kevin Wiltz was out all year being hurt, so hopefully he can come back. I feel like a young guy like Zadrian Sewell started to show flashes of being really good. To Mario Thomas.
Yeah, I think we needed some big like a big guy to come in and be that guy.
Yeah.
I think it's so difficult at like this level to attract players who are of that talent, of course. But I think if you're able to do it, then it's just important. It's just good to be able to bring in players like that.
One of the things I was thinking about too is how like quickly it's all changed, because I would say that when LC was in Division III, there's no question about it, for probably the whole tradition of LCU basketball, before that LC basketball, Gene Rushing transitioning to Rainey Mason, is we were a school where they were recruiting guys who, they had talent, but they wanted them here to come and get their degrees. And the typical LCU basketball player was a guy that would come here for 4 years,
Sure,
graduate, and then go into whatever walk of life, business, and a lot of coaching. I mean, if you look at the coaching tree from Gene Rushing, continuing to Rainey Mason, tons of coaches in our area and throughout the state came through the LC basketball program. So I think the basketball program was more about, in a lot of ways, building character and building young men.
Yeah.
But now it seems like in NAIA, it's more about getting players that can help you win.
I definitely feel like that's a big culture shift.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's just LCU. I think it's just culture of sports nowadays. It's like
and I'm not saying that they're not good guys or anything, because you look at a couple of the ones that came in this year. I mean, you had one and dones essentially in Jelani Bell and Justice Kelly, but two pretty good dudes, right?
Yeah. Very good guys.
Who hopefully will get their graduate degrees through this school. That's why they came in as graduate level students. But it's different, because if you look at the players that you mentioned, the group that we lost, Drew Tebby is the only one that was a 4-year player here.
Yeah. Wymanson is second year.
Right. And he had been at a couple of schools beforehand. So, you want to see, and I think the mission of sports at this school is to help people graduate from college.
Yeah.
That's what it has to be primarily. And you want those kind of student athletes to be here. You see that for sure in other sports.
I mean, I think our soccer team has been one of those teams that baseball as well.
Yeah.
That develops 4 years. These players stay and they develop just as people. And I think that's always been, and I think it does help, of course, that you win. So people want to stay at a school that wins. That's why the football and soccer have been so successful, and baseball to a lesser extent, but still to an extent, is that you stay at a school that's still winning. Why would you leave if you're still winning?
Right.
And I think that's one of those things that basketball's kind of struggled with. Just the level of talent around the area, LSUA, Xavier. I think it's difficult because players aren't players these days aren't any smarter than they've been before. I think it's just nowadays the culture is if you don't win, just go. I mean, we look at players last year. Dan, you remember what's his name? The guard who was
Devin Carter.
A player like Devin Carter, who he was a one and done, but because he was the best player on the team, and he's like, oh well, if I'm the best player at LCU, what could I be somewhere else? And that mentality is just, you don't see a lot of Drew Tebbys nowadays.
Right. Yeah. Right. 4-year committed to the pro, and Sam Wren was as well.
Sam Wren, yeah,
he's just graduating early. I think
Sam did,
but he is
okay. But it'll be interesting to see what direction it goes in. And with the women's team, I think the same thing. It does seem that the women's sport lends itself more to, you can take that approach of bringing in really quality local high school players and letting them develop over 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
What I've found with the women's game is that it requires a lot higher level of coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And that coaches like matter so much more than in the men's game, because it's a much less physical game, so it's very technical, and you need to make sure that you're doing the technically right things. So I think that's one of those reasons why it lends to it, because you build a program, and if you're able to, as a coach, build a program, then people stay in said program.
And of course, this year with the women's program, you had the change of coaching at the Christmas break, basically, with Rainey Mason stepping out of his just athletic director shoes and putting back his coaching shoes on after having been the men's coach, stepping down before the season began. And then
right before
he couldn't have thought he would have ended up in the situation that he did, which was coaching the women's team. But to your point, you could see they started to play the game with a little more precision.
Yeah.
And they won some games. Like down the stretch, they really did pretty well compared to where they had been at that point.
I mean, they were struggling heavily up until then.
I mean, they finished with 5 wins. I think they only had 1 at the point that he took over.
Yeah, it was that first game. It was the 95
over Central Baptist. Yeah. But then just loss after loss after loss after loss. And then when he finally did take over, you started to see right away they got more competitive. They had like a 7-point loss to Dallas, came back and beat Southwest by 30, went on the road, lost to Xavier by 15. Let's see here. Had, LSU Shreveport. That was a tough game. That's a really good team that they're playing.
Yeah.
Beat Jarvis Christian 70-30. So they showed flashes of being, at times, a pretty good team. And I think they have some spots on the roster that they'll have to fill as well.
I mean, one thing specifically that they're going to need to fill is just add more players.
Yes.
You just need players.
Yeah.
You need a full roster, a full 20-man roster.
Right, because by the end of the year, I think they were down to 10 or 9.
9 or 10. I think you're right. I think it's 10. And it's just one of those things where it's like, well, you just need players. And I think they have certain players that I think you can most certainly build around. I think like Kylie LeBlanc, I mean, she's you have to keep her for all 4 years because of how talented she is.
Yep.
And I mean, you even have players like Madison Carey who are very talented as well, who can be one of those grow over the next few years.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the roster, they had Carlia Owens transfer in. She'll have 1 more year. She shows so many flashes of just being almost even a dominant player, but it seems like she gets down on herself pretty easy if it doesn't quite go her way. Which maybe that's a maturity thing. I don't know. Desiree Allen was a freshman as a guard who I think will get a lot more playing time next year.
Yeah.
You mentioned, I think Kylie is clearly the leader on the team. She'll have 2 more years left. And to me, she is, I don't know if I want to say an elite player in the league, but she's as good a player as you'll find in the league.
Yeah.
For sure. But then you had other players that I thought showed flashes of things. You mentioned Madison Carey, the freshman. I mean,
Amaya Simpkins as well.
Amaya Simpkins, Micaiah Olivier at times she's fearless. I would say that.
Yeah.
Katria Gooden and even Alea Jarrell. There were a couple of those games down the stretch where she made some big shots.
I think it's one of those things where if you have the depth, because me and Danny, when we commentated those games, we noticed one thing in particular is that it's kind of similar to the men's game, but it was particularly strong in the women's, that they'll have a really good first half. Good first half. First 2 quarters, they'll be, very competitive with the team that they're playing against. And then it just seems like they run out of time. They run out of legs. And when you have to play 20 minutes a night, 30 minutes a night, it's so difficult just to stay at that level for the whole game. So, I mean, you just see them get out substituted, just out depth.
And they struggle with teams that had size, too.
Right. That's also true.
There were a few teams, like Shreveport's one of those. It's just, they're so big.
Yeah.
And our bigs are more kind of like small forwards. I mean, Carlia is, I guess, the biggest player on the team, tall,
She's
height-wise.
6'1".
6'1", and then Kylie is 5'10". So Kylie's almost more a small forward that plays a lot like a power forward.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, that's the same thing with like Princess Golf from last year. It's like
Yeah.
she wasn't particularly tall. She was like 5'9", 5'10", and
Yeah.
then she had to play in that position.
The question, I think, the biggest question looming over the women's basketball program is who will be the coach next year. I don't know.
I don't assume it's going to be Mason
I
again.
don't
No.
know.
I've heard they're actively looking.
Okay.
They haven't found a for sure person, but they have
Yeah.
some people in mind.
Okay.
Obviously, I couldn't ask anymore because they wouldn't give me any information besides that. So, but we'll see.
But you're digging.
I am. I'm
All right.
trying.
Shout out our journalism.
And I will say this, there are some former LCU athletes who are coaches in the area on the high school level that may be attractive to come to this school as college coaches.
Hey, maybe. I mean, I think it's one of those things where if you get a good coach, I think good coaches, we've seen it with football, good
Mhm.
coaches like building programs are so invaluable. And
Yep.
I think when we see it with Ben McLaughlin, what he was able to do over a 2-year span.
Yeah.
I think if you have a coach who's willing to buy in and say like, I want to build something here, then, you know, you have an opportunity, a huge opportunity. And I mean, just looking at what LCU has done in these past few years and how they're like, one thing that LCU has been great at is just being building, you know, being very good at building up coaches, building up players, building up, you know, opportunities. We looked at our coach from, you know, our freshman year who won the championship and got to what's it called, the NAIA tournament, and he's now doing with D2, being a D2 defensive
Coach
coach.
Maddox.
Yeah, Coach Maddox.
Yeah, actually, an update on him. He's now the new head coach at Arizona Christian University.
Just, I mean, that's awesome because
Yeah.
So I think that's the if I'm selling LCU as a
Mhm.
as a recruiter, I'm trying to say I want you to coach our team. What I'm giving you is an opportunity to grow.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna. I don't think like chaining someone to a desk is like the best thing to do for a coach, especially a younger coach.
Right.
I think if you can build a good program, then what's gonna happen is that people are gonna see you, and you're gonna be able to like go up, and you'll be able to improve.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
you know,
take soccer with Coach Castillo.
right.
You know.
He gets back-to-back rings, and now he's coaching a bigger school. I mean, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think if to improve, we just have to keep
Yeah.
replenishing.
You get at this level, you're going to get two types of coaches. You're either going to get the one who's more of a career builder who uses it as an opportunity to establish himself or herself and then move up in the ranks. We've seen that in a few of the sports. And then you have more of the coaches that just kind of fall in love with the place and want to build it up and make it as good as they can here,
Mm-hmm.
like Mike Burns with
Yeah.
baseball.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
you
he's
can see what
been
they're doing
there.
now.
This is his 26th or 27th season.
Right. I
which
mean, when
is
you
incredible.
think about LCU baseball, you think about Mike Burns.
Oh, yeah.
You think about what he's done here.
100%. That's right, baby.
That's right.
One of the all-time greats. He really is a good guy. And so yeah, I kind of feel like Coach McLaughlin could be that kind of coach too that'll stay here a long time just because it's his alma mater, his family's here, his wife's family's here. We'll see. Time always tells.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for what LC basketball can be in the future.
It's really going to be about picking the right one.
Yeah.
That's
Speaking of basketball, it sounds like they had quite the rec championship game the other night.
5
Oh,
overtimes is
gosh.
crazy.
5 overtimes.
Good Lord.
Ending at midnight.
I heard the officiating was really shaky, though.
Guess who officiated?
That's
Nate
why I said-
LaFleur.
That's why I said it.
This man
I heard
Nate,
guys in
dude.
my cinema appreciation class saying LCU needs new refs.
Oh,
Everyone
man.
was flaming Nate after the game. So
what happened? I missed it.
I don't know. I have no clue. I just heard there was bad calls from Nate, which kept the game going over and over and over.
Yeah. 5
5
OTs. So I know the team that had one of our students, Jacob Simonette, on it. They ended up
They
not.
lost.
They lost.
They lost to CJ, and CJ is I
Oh,
guess
he's
a
a-
red shirt
he's a
basketball.
red shirt, yeah.
Red shirt freshman.
Okay.
From the basketball team, and apparently he was like dropping like 30, 35 points a game. So
Jeez.
I mean, that's just what happens when.
yeah.
I mean, that's what happened when like Aaron and Nate were playing in rec, is that they were just dominating.
So
It's always happened when you're like it's always funny, like the worst player on LCU basketball or the redshirt players are still so much better than everybody
than
else.
everyone else. Yeah, for people that think that they could play at that level, right?
Yeah.
mm,
Speaking of Aaron and Nate, it was good to see those guys get some playing time down the stretch, especially Nate.
yeah.
He kind of came in as almost like a enforcer type guy,
Look,
playing good defense.
3
getting some
points, 2
rebounds.
fouls, 1 rebound. That's what you're getting out of Nate.
3 points, 2 fouls, 1 rebound, maybe an assist.
He said that he averaged, what do you say? His 3-point percentage was like a 45 on the season.
Okay,
So like
Hey, that's not bad.
that's respect.
That's not bad at all.
he's a good shooter, and he
Yeah.
said he averaged a rebound a game. So you know.
I think he can play in that. I mean,
Yeah,
he reminds me I don't know if this is fair to say, but he reminds me a little bit of Amarian Lassard in the sense that, he's not the biggest big,
Right,
but if you
right.
play him in that 3 position,
yeah.
he can do some damage.
Yeah.
And I think if he just builds up his handles, gets a little bit shiftier, then I mean that's someone that you can play for sure.
We want to see our guy Aaron play a little more next year too.
we do. And
You do. I think he can. I think he has the talent to fill in that the hole left at the point guard position.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got the tenacity for it.
He's gonna have opportunity. Sounds like so. That's all you can ask for.
Right.
But let's see. Any other sports we want to get to today?
I think LCU esports
Ah.
has had a big week.
Nice.
big or last 2 weeks have been big.
Wait, I noticed they're doing really well with you two guys not playing. What's the story with that?
Let's just say we have a sub that's good.
Let's peek.
Yeah.
He was peak.
But yeah, someone had to fill in for me, and they did pretty well. And I think also the 2 other teammates that I have, especially Bailey being new to Apex, and he's been learning a lot, getting a lot better. So I guess I'm proud of them because we've never been in, for him being new and then me just being good at playing ranked, not ever being in a semi like pro, I guess, area
Level.
of like level of Apex. Like I'm proud of us.
It's an entirely different level that they're having to play against. They're having to play against like professional
Yeah,
Apex players.
Yeah.
And they're holding their own. I mean, it's not like obviously they're holding their own because they placed out of the 40 teams, they placed 19th
Yeah.
or they placed 18th.
18th.
They placed 18th.
40.
Um,
So that put us in the finals for split 1,
yeah.
Okay.
and we play that Saturday at
11.
Yeah, 11, because we start draft at 10:30. And then basically that format is the same as Pro Apex. So we
You play
play
day
7
one?
games. No, there's no days. We play
Oh.
7 games. First team that gets to 50 points is on match point, and then if they win another game, they win.
I see.
And then that's basically the format for it. So
Hmm.
it's more of, we don't have any, leisure, because we have to do good literally every single game to get to that point limit, and then we have to win. We have to actually win, and we haven't won a game yet this season.
They've gotten close. Second
Um,
places, third places.
When you must.
So
They must. But it's tough. You have some very,
To
very
be the
difficult.
best.
You gotta be the best. To be the man, you gotta beat the man.
That's right.
And it's gonna be difficult, I think. But I have been particularly impressed with these past few weeks. So like Danny comes back, and and in terms of like performance, there's no drop off.
Mm.
yeah,
So it's not like
Nice.
the guy just came in and our substitute came in and was like just carrying, and then Danny comes back and they just fall off a cliff again. It's like, no, they're back at that level. So I think if they had played at that level that they played in on Sunday, the whole season, just by pure statistics,
yeah.
they're in the top 10.
But again, it's a learning experience. We have a guy who's literally brand new to the game. I've never played at this level. Have just played ranked on consoles. So,
It's had to do some learning, but they're getting there. They're getting to that level, and there's another split. So the season's most certainly not over for Apex, but
split 2s and starts on March 7th. So that'll be the split that we try to actually get top 10.
Yeah.
That top 5 spot, I think.
think you can do it.
In other news, the A.J. Brown trade is still pending.
Think he'll go to the Ravens?
I hope so, man.
I don't know. They're still saying the Patriots are a pretty safe bet.
It's us and the Patriots who are like the two teams that are actively trying to get him.
The NFL has no off season for news. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
They just
No.
they keep it in the news. So I was listening to ESPN radio the other night, like at 11 o'clock at night, and they were just talking about the NFL. And I'm like, we're like in the midst of basketball season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got baseball starting up, but the NFL just is always top of mind.
Yeah.
Which is it's so interesting because like I'm a big soccer fan as
Mhm.
well. So like I watch like a lot of European commentary and stuff on it. And it's very similar over there. It's that like there is nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
So it's like in USA they talk about like, why do you always talk about football? Well, it's the biggest sport, so people are gonna talk about football all the time. But like we have other things to talk about. So there's basketball we can talk about. There's baseball. There's
Mhm.
all these other sports that are being played. Even college ball, college basketball right now. But like for like other sports like England, they're not gonna stop talking about soccer. Ever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a blessing being in America that like has different sports.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there is no off season. When
That's
football's over, we go to basketball. When
Wow.
basketball's over, we go to baseball.
I'm excited for MLB. It'll be next week. I think we start the World Baseball Classic.
Nice.
So
I gotta find a team to follow.
America.
Go Cubs.
Yeah.
Oh, for MLB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go Cubs.
I might have to just
Go Brewers.
see.
Oh,
The
yeah,
thing is, the only two teams I've actually watched in person are the Astros and the Rangers. So like, I would have to pick between those probably.
Mm.
I don't know.
My uncle was really trying to get me locked in on
On the
the
Cubs.
Cubs.
On
Yeah.
the Cubbies.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
No, I
You're
can't.
just going to be heartbroken.
Well, I'll be heartbroken side by side with my family.
I'm just a Ellie De La Cruz fan, and then that's really
Ellie is he's an elite player to watch.
Yeah.
He's fun.
it. But other than that, I don't like have a team.
Yeah.
I could go for the Orioles, but they suck.
I think they'll bounce back this year.
We'll
They
see.
have so much young talent.
Yeah,
I
we'll see.
don't think they'll be bad, for sure.
I might just be the most basic person and just say the Yankees.
That is basic. That's basic.
Dude, you can't.
I know
man,
my knowledge of baseball
man,
is very.
you are
I know how to
funny.
play the game. But
You
I
are
don't-
funny because like you can't help but bandwagon.
No,
I'm surprised you're
I
not a Dodgers
cannot.
fan.
I was about
No.
to say.
Well, and I also play as the Yankees when I play the show on Xbox.
Do you know who the greatest MLB player is now?
I can name some all-time favorites.
Not favorites. The best player now.
The best player in the world right now.
I know I have a name in my mind.
Go ahead.
Forgive me for mispronouncing it, but Shoro Tane?
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Shohei
Nice.
Ohtani.
I was just making sure he knew.
Yeah.
If you don't know the greatest player in a sport and claim you're a sports fan, then you're just kind of cooked.
I feel like it's
No,
necessary to have a
if it
basic
was-
knowledge of every.
If it was all time, I would have said Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Jackie Robinson, Roberto Clemente.
Roberto Clemente.
Those are all solid. By the way, the other day, the guy who hit the home run in 1960, the walk-off home run, Pirates against the Yankees in Pittsburgh, Bill Mazeroski, he died at the age of, I think, 87.
Mm.
So I believe it was Sunday night, MLB Network was airing like a special they did where they show the whole game, and then they had some of those Pirates and Yankees players sitting down with Bob Costas and
Oh,
giving
that's very
like
cool.
their analysis.
It's like the 1980
yeah,
thing, or the
yeah.
1980.
And
Very cool.
it's about a 3-hour. It was about a 3-hour thing, maybe 2. But that game was wild because the Pirates actually took the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. A guy named Hal Smith hit a 3-run homer to give them the lead. They were up by 2, and then the Yankees scored 2 in the 9th, and then Mazeroski led off with a home run in the bottom of the 9th. Probably the most famous home run in World Series history.
Mm-hmm.
And but Clemente was on that team.
Wasn't he a Dodgers player?
Pirates.
He originally, the Dodgers had him, but I'm trying to remember what the reason was. He got traded to Pittsburgh when he was like a minor leaguer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So he could have been a Dodger.
He played professionally with the Pirates. Like that was his
But he
protein.
lifelong Pirates player. Last season he played was 1972, and then in the off season he was taking medical supplies to victims of an earthquake. I believe it was somewhere in the Caribbean, and his plane crashed.
Rest in peace, one of the greats.
And he had gotten
Prayers
his
go out to his family.
3,000th hit in his last game that he played.
Wow.
So, but that guy was legendary.
Mm.
And now they have the Roberto Clemente Award that they give each year to kind of like the Walter Payton Award for football. They have the Roberto Clemente Award for baseball.
Very cool.
But yeah, very cool. But I'm excited for baseball. It's coming up. Been listening to the Brewers preseason games. I think we're gonna have a
Preseason
fun
games
team.
are so wonky.
Chill. They're just
They are chill. They are
Yeah.
chill. I mean,
Like even the announcers don't take it totally seriously.
yesterday the Cubs lost 14-7.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
It
this is
doesn't
not real.
matter. Right. You're just working on stuff. But
Da-da-da.
in the NBA,
OKC finally has more losses this year than they did last year.
yeah,
They're human after all.
they are human.
They are,
after
in
all.
fact,
The
mortal.
The OKC is mortal.
I will
But-
say I called it. The Spurs are the second best team, and I thought they would be as good as they are.
You think
Second
the-
best team in the West.
Do you think the East is wide open?
Not second best team overall.
Is the East wide open?
Yes,
For now.
I think so.
Don't look now, but the Bucks kind of putting it together.
Hey, you just got to get into the play-in spots. Then
They beat Cleveland last night.
They did. KPJ, was it?
Yeah,
Was that
Yeah.
the game winner that he hit?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Detroit's gonna be like the Cavs from last season and just run away with it in terms of like placement. They're gonna get the 1 seed.
Yeah.
But I was talking to the sports director at KOB, and he was telling me like like Jalen Duren feels like the Evan Mobley of last year, and he's just gonna crash and burn in the playoffs. Like he'll have one bad game and then he'll never recover
Maybe
from there.
Wow.
And that'll be there. The Detroit is gonna be the Cavs from last year. But I feel I am very nervous if you're a West fan about Boston
Yeah.
because of how good they are
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how good they can be when Jason Tatum comes back, which is looking like March 12th is the day.
Wow. Jaylen Brown has been playing really well this year.
He has been.
Kind of taking up the slack, so
Yeah.
to speak.
In New York, I mean, is the third seed over there, so I think it's also very interesting. And I think it's very unfair, like people to talk about the West and the East, and like the West being so stacked and the East being so like bad, because I think the West is more competitive. So like the middle of the pack is like a little bit more bunched, but I mean, it's not very different at all. The 1 seed in Detroit is in the league is the 2 seed, and then San Antonio, then Boston, then Houston. It's like literally East West, like East West, in the whole standing. So I think it's one of those things where it's like the whole league is like taking a step up in terms of level.
Yeah.
And I think it's been taking those steps for years now, and I think because of the old guard, not dying out, but like moving on, and like the LeBron, Steph Curry, the Kevin Durant not being as like the number one guys now, I think lends itself to growth.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan. I mean, yeah.
Seth, big event coming up this weekend.
Yes, sir. We got the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
I think we got Jey Uso, Javon Evans, who I really like now. Trick Williams, Cody Rhodes, and LA Knight. Yeah, I don't know who can win, but I think the final two are going to be Cody and Randy.
Wow.
But I would really like to see
Yeah.
Randy win.
I would too. So whoever wins Elimination Chamber
Will face Drew McIntyre
at
at WrestleMania.
All right. And on the women's side,
On the women's side, all I know is that Rhea Ripley is in it, and she could probably win it.
yeah.
But this issue with CM Punk and Finn Balor is
Yeah, lingering.
lingering.
It's a good storyline they got going
It is.
with that one. And then AJ Styles, they had the retirement ceremony for him this last Monday, and the
Couldn't-
Undertaker came out, and
He's basically a Hall of Fame recruiter at this point because
Yeah.
he's announced Triple H, Stephanie, and Kane
yeah,
all to be in the Hall of Fame. But congratulations to AJ Styles.
That's pretty cool because
It
he spent
is.
so much of his career in, was it TNA wrestling?
TNA, Ring of Honor, Japan. He's been everywhere.
Yeah,
This is a very well deserved award.
yeah, it is pretty cool. So, all right, I think that covers the world of sports.
Not the
Spanning-
longest one that we've done.
Spanning the globe. No,
But
not
we did
the
we
longest.
did span the globe this time.
Yeah.
We went all the way to Milan.
we did.
Yep.
USA. We need to go to some kind of U.S. sporting event.
Yeah.
I do the World Cup's
World
coming.
Cup is coming.
But there's a 0% chance
you
that I will be
ever-
getting a ticket to those
Did
just
you ever-
because I personally because of the pricing of
Mhm,
those
mhm.
tickets is just not.
You still got that card that guy gave you?
I did email
All
email the guy that I met, but
okay.
I
he has
still
not
remember
responded.
because that guy was like, "So you want to do soccer?" And you were like, "Yeah." He just pulls out a card and he says, "Then do it."
Something like that.
Yeah, he's a guy that owns a company that does some contract work. They'll be doing contract work during the
The World Cup.
World Cup.
Mm.
So you never know where life can take you.
Never
It's
know.
about making
Nope.
connections.
I mean, hey, if I get a job out there during the summer, then that's just is what it is.
yeah,
Yep.
it'd be pretty sweet.
It would be pretty sweet. I'm working on getting my passport.
There you go. Good deal. All right, guys. Good show today. Danny Cobb, any last words?
I just want to say rest in peace to Rondell Moore and
Oh, yeah.
Devontae Lee just passed away. They just sent out a thing 15 minutes ago. Former Tech and LSU receiver died to bone cancer, but
Wow.
Mm.
I think more importantly, I wanted to mention this, especially towards the end. Men's mental health is a real thing. Kyron Lacey, Marshawn Nealand, and Rondell Moore have all committed suicide under 30 years old, and they were very young, 24 to 25 years old. And I think if you're going through something, to please reach out. You're not weak for reaching out to somebody, and I think mental health is such an important thing that people don't talk about a lot, especially men's mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're watching and obviously you're going through stuff, please seek professional help or go to someone. Don't just keep it inside.
Your family would rather
well
talk
said.
to you about your issue than
And
see anything happen
even
to
if
you.
it's not your family, friends,
Yeah.
obviously there's therapists out there. Pray. I mean, God's
Right.
the answer to most of these problems. So don't feel like you have to
Don't feel like
end
the
your
world-
life. Please reach out and talk to people.
Don't ever feel like the world is against you because there are people who care and love about you. If anything's going on in your life, they're there for you.
Yeah,
Facts.
I wanted to say that because we're losing a lot of young athletes to suicide, and it's sad to see because they're
It
not
is.
that far
I know.
into their careers. I mean, Kyron Lacey didn't even get into the NFL yet, and Rondell Moore, Marshawn Nealand. I mean, that one was crazy. It was in the middle of the season, so yeah, I just wanted to mention that before we went off.
Well said.
Mm.
Well said.
All right, Seth, any last word?
Rest in peace to Robert Duvall, and prayers go out to Savannah Guthrie and her family.
Yeah, that story just,
That is a crazy story.
It is.
yeah.
They were they were following it heavily at work, and it's like
Don, last word?
I don't have anything to say particularly as emotionally charged. I
Right.
just go Barcelona.
Go Barcelona.
Visa
All right.
Barca.
And I'm going to say, pray for Megan Basham. She's a reporter for the Daily Wire, and we met her at NRB. At least I did. And she's one of my goats that I
Your
follow.
goats.
Here you go.
She's awesome. So she's dealing with cancer, and still a relatively young lady, probably in her 40s, I would guess.
Hmm.
So cool person though.
Mhm.
That was probably my peak moment of NRB.
Your
was
highlight.
The
getting a
highlight.
chance
That's for the
to
highlight reel.
Talk with her. So, but and Pat Boone, he was cool.
He was
Very,
cool. He was cool.
very nice.
Twas.
Extremely nice. It was unexpected.
Yeah.
So you just never know who you're going to run into at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention.
Thanks.
So
Who's to see what happens in
How-
Washington?
how did D-Ray crystallize it? The convention was about three things.
I didn't say that.
Oh, you didn't say that?
Who said that? What did we say?
Is it
Trump.
Kalen? Oh, Kalen.
Trump.
Oh. It's the Trinity of NRB.
Oh,
You had
Trump
Trump the Father.
Kirk
Kirk
the Father,
Son.
Kirk the Son, and the Jews.
the Holy Spirit.
Is
A little bit
Something like
sacrilegious,
that.
but
Something
it was
like
kinda
that.
There's a lot of presence of ministries connected to Israel that
Yes.
are there.
Yeah.
funny. There were a lot
And
of
then-
those.
Yeah.
I think it was over half of it. But
It seemed like
Yeah.
it, yeah.
The-
And then a lot of representation of Charlie Kirk. And
Mhm.
A lot of representation of
Yeah.
Charlie
when
Kirk.
especially when they presented the President's Award to him, I feel
Yeah.
like that was a good
that was cool.
decision.
Very cool. Very cool. I was hoping, well, they had the TPUSA Faith guy who was there.
Lucas Miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good stuff overall.
Hmm.
So, all right, everyone. That'll do it for our Wildcats Media Sports Podcast for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back again next week to try it again. Maybe we'll do better next time.
Maybe.